You play football, you want to play in those atmospheres, like going to Seville. You know what you're going to get. It's an incredible privilege to play in those grounds, and you have to embrace the moment and enjoy it and go for it because it's worth it. This is the arenas that you want to be tested in. What has happened in the last 5 years in this league, something unprecedented. It never happened with the amount of points, with the level of the teams. Now is the amount of teams with that level that is increasing. That's why comparing to the past, this league is, for me, is a waste of time. It's very different to what it used to be, and that puts the demands of what we do every single day in a different scale. No, you learn about that every game is very different to the previous one, and you have to be at it, and you take the foot out of the gas. In any action in this league against this type of opponents, you get punished, and it's as simple as that. So you have to keep the standards at the maximum level if you want to keep winning and winning.
In terms of Emil Smith-Rowe, have you got any further details on his injury?
Nothing has changed. As I said, I think he will be out for weeks. How many would determine, obviously, in relation to how he progressed the first few weeks especially. And yeah, big blow because he was getting some momentum and some minutes, and we were starting to get the meal that we needed, but unfortunately he's going to be out again.
And Martin Odegaard's playing time has been managed over the last 2 matches.
Yeah, we have tried to offload him a little bit because he had a little issue that he was grumbling with. He felt much better in the last few days. We gave him a few minutes against West Ham, which was good to see, and his contribution was really good. And he will train today, and if he's fine, he will be ready.
And finally, for me, the West.
That is very early, that we have to go game by game, that we are in a really good position, and we have to continue to be there. Tomorrow we have a really tough match against Newcastle, but these are the games that you have to play when you want to be at the top.
Thanks, James. We'll go to Annie.
Go ahead and, as we just heard,
This is football. Like the next game is the next game. The next day you have to be focused, and our full focus energy is now beating Newcastle. That's it.
Thank you, best of luck.
Ian from TalkSport.
Hi, Mikel, are you well?
Right. Yeah.
What do you make of the job that Eddie Howe's done? Because I think when Newcastle were taken over and became the richest club in the world, a lot of people wondered whether or not he would be able to take them to the next level.
Huge credit to him. I think he has transformed the club, the environment, the atmosphere, what he has created in the team as well, such a belief in what they do, and that's a huge compliment to him for what he's done.
Do you think you've both, in a way, done similar jobs with the clubs you're at?
I don't know. Every club is different. I have huge credit for what he's done, the way he's done it, the way his team plays, the environment that he has created is fantastic. And yeah, he had a lot of support, which we all needed as well. And they are now big contenders.
You were talking about how the standards maybe dropped.
Well, I think there's been an evolution. I think we've gone from the 10s to the 20s to the 80s to the 100. There have been players that cost 220 million as well, you know, so it's not that we are getting used to it, but yeah, it's something that is happening, and it's happening more and more often. But yeah, and about all the players, all the clubs, what we are doing, is no comments on that.
Is that something a manager thinks about, the price tag, how much it costs to buy the player before they buy them?
No, first of all, is what can we do to improve our team, and then can we afford it, and does it make sense in our project to spend certain money in certain players, and there is a lot of work to be done there.
Mark, Press Association.
Hi, Mikel.
Hi. I think he's progressed in the right way in the last few years. As you said, he had a little bit of a difficult start, which is normal because it was a big jump, different expectations, started to play as well in certain different positions. But I think he showed a lot of determination and courage to overcome any of that. I think he has a big personality. I think he goes with pressure really well. He has a lot of quality. He gives us different positions, and he's been a key player for us.
A lot of your key players over the last year have signed.
Yeah, and he's a really good character on his own way, and the way he is, the way he presents himself. But he loves football. The way, even though you don't play that amount of game, the way he trains every day, the way he applies himself is top, and we need players like him.
Jordan from the Athletic.
It's football, is what happens. He hasn't had a lot of muscle injuries. It's true that the load that he had in the last few weeks to what he's done in the past, even when he was at City, has been very, very different. And he's still adapting to it. Yeah, we lost 4 big players in the last few weeks, but it's the challenges that you have throughout the season.